And The Flash issue 787 is written by Jeremy Adams with pencils by Fernando Pizarro, inks by Matt Ryan, colors by Jeremy Cox, and letters by Rob Lee. And this issue begins with the West kids waking up their dad, who appears to be overtired from all of his responsibilities piling up on him. It's then while watching TV that an intergalactic wrestling show called Wham comes across their screen. At first, everyone is into the action until it becomes apparent that the setting is on Earth and the damage is very real. Wally then rushes out to stop the match, but instead ends up accidentally pinning one of the wrestlers, and by those rules, becomes the newest wrestler as Power Tower attacks, angered that the Flash took his win. It's then that another wrestler called Omega Bam Man comes down and takes out Power Tower. During this time of quiet, Omega Bam Man explains how their show only picks areas facing an apocalypse, that they make sure all areas are cleared, and robots will come in and fix the damage, as well as letting Wally know the secret to his championship belt, which increases its wearer's strength and prolongs their life. Bam also assesses Wally's emotional state and tells the Flash that he needs to have some fun and cut loose once in a while. It's then that more wrestlers beam down and the two become an effective tag team, taking opponent after opponent, with the final match having Mall of Wildcats fame. And even against that opponent, the power duo of Bam and the Flash win the day as the robots come down to repair the damaged city, and Bam tells Flash that he'll see him at the Galactic Rumble because they need to defend their title. Wally then races home, happier than when he left, as he hugs his kids. So what we effectively have here is WWE
in space.
And I also think Jeremy Adams now has an obligation to follow up on the Galactic Rumble. And what else can I say about the story? It was fun. It's always nice to see Wally cut loose, smile, even if he participated in property damage. Actually really dug the character Omega Bam Man, who was, from what I could see, a cross between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. And it's very clear that Bam Man is
the cream of the crop. I am the cream.
Also, the way Bam was just calling Wally Flasher, I mean, it got a chuckle out of me because Wally even points out that on Earth, Flasher means something completely different. And it was also really cool to see Maul come down because I have always wondered what did happen to the Wildcats within the context of the DC universe. And I will say, to a degree, I almost kind of wish Maul was the character that Wally was teamed up with, because then maybe we could have had some context clues to where the rest of the Wildcats are. And also, I am more familiar with that character as opposed to the new Bam Man. But hey, you take a cameo where you can take a cameo. And I will say, I also did connect with the story a bit, as its central theme is don't forget to cut loose and have some fun every once in a while. It's important to de-stress, because that was the whole thing. Wally was just really tired and kind of down for the count because of all his responsibilities. Something I can actually relate to. I am a husband, I am a father, I have work responsibilities and whatnot. And Jeremy Adams has definitely had a way with writing some of the most relatable Flash stories I've read in a long time. Particularly, I do remember back to early on in his run, the Dr. Nightmare storyline, where it was, Wally and his daughter, and it just reminded me of the relationship I have with my daughter. Only drawback I can really derive from this story in particular is Wally's agreeability to participate. I mean, at first, obviously he's not really wanting to, but after he talks with Bam Man for a bit, it's like, okay, we'll go ahead and do this. Because, we break stuff, y'all just gonna fix it, right? It kind of sends a bit of a message that, it's okay to break stuff as long as you can replace it. I mean, I can't really think of any other superhero in the DC universe that, would be okay with that. I think the better approach would be to have Wally sort of like indirectly continue to participate, much like when he, quote unquote, pinned that first wrestler. Because at least in that way, it could be something like where he's trying to, stop everybody from wrestling because the damage is getting so catastrophic. But through, just his intervention here and there, he just keeps winning these matches. Because I also think that could have added a bit more of the comedy element to it, and, overall make him less compliant within his participation. And it would have been funny, you know, where he's teamed up effectively with Bam Man, and Bam Man's just like, oh man, you're such a great wrestler, and Wally is like, I'm trying to get everybody to stop. And I could see this the start of like a bit of a running joke within Jeremy Adams' run where, you know, maybe after like a really serious story arc, occasionally Wally gets pulled off world to participate in a Wham match. Not to mention, as Bam told us, that Wham is effectively an outlawed sport, more or less, and the Green Lantern Corps is kind of looking for them. And so that also does make me wonder, with Wally so willing to participate, well, after that first match, will Hal need to come down and talk to Wally saying, yo, you're part of Wham now? Yeah, we're trying to find those guys, arrest them, you know, maybe there'll be a little friction there. Or maybe Wally can help Wham end up becoming, you know, more sanctioned. I don't know. Because in regards to that, that does open the story itself to more possibilities. But let's be honest, this whole storyline's probably never gonna come back again. And when it comes to the art, I'm kind of leaning downwards a little bit. I mean, some of the wider shots and action set pieces were still pretty decent. It's just when the camera, like, you know, hands up close on a face and stuff like that, it's kind of, yeah, not entirely pleasant to look at. But nonetheless, the story is just pure fun, pure cheese. People are going to pick this comic up, they're going to read it, and they're most likely going to have a good time, much like I did. And with that, I'm going to score The Flash issue 787 a 7.5 out of 10. So The Flash issue 787. What did you think about this book, Fred? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these two videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.